more thoughts about this idea of a civil war. What was the line? When a woman is your best man. Was it? So it was J. Rue the Damager talking about Lauryn Hill, I believe, and the Fugees. When a woman is your best man, come on, then make it happen. Because I got that flow. Every time I touch the microphone, it glows. So one of the things that a lot of there's this. I had to think this because it suddenly hit me. I'm like, no, this is completely irrational. Doesn't make any sense. But if I were one of these, I'm such a badass B kind of women, I would totally think this. I would totally somehow program my mind into thinking this. If I had sort of my life looked after such that I could pursue a career that puts me, in an office with men who had been actual veterans, I could see how I could confuse myself with that tier. If I had, say, been stationed doing logistics or something, and there were real men doing real fighting nearby me, I could confuse myself and think that my logistics work, like I'm helping, and yes, I would be as a logistics officer or driving a truck, but it's not the same as as artillery, being in forward artillery or something like that. So I think that there's this fantasy by liberal women in general. I think no matter the color, I think they have this fantasy, one about interactions with police have shown all liberals don't understand violence whatsoever. That they don't really get what it takes to deal with a man who wants to not do what you want. And the disdain for combat sports in liberal culture, it would make sense that they would, not understand violence, not understand men. It's that kind of thing that I've started to think no, I think these fools really believe that if there was some kind of civil collapse, that the worker men would help them. The worker men would come to the blue enclaves and keep helping them. That's one that I'm sure they really believe, that people would come to town and keep doing normal things. They also don't realize where blue enclaves are. That's where medical centers and things like that, and also clusters of old people. Okay, in the hinterland, the old people are people who survive on their own. In the blue enclaves, in the dense centers, you have quite specifically large groups of people who can't care for themselves. Blue enclaves on the West Coast, I could tell you they are rife with autists, completely can't function autists, can't function retards. I don't mean to be cruel, it's just that this is the kind of area that would have the therapy for people like that. Okay, people like that, when the going gets rough, you need 2 people to take care of one. The liberals aren't getting, the conservatives are more spread out. They'll be able to take care of each other. You will not be able to confiscate their weapons and their assets. You just won't be able to do that. There won't be sheriffs nor police. Remember, the majority of counties are Republican. That's it. That's the end. That's the end of all of this talk. It's not, there's no civil war happening. The physical land is dominated politically by the Republicans. So this means that, like, you won't be able to get some commissar, some nogger figure in there, who's going to be like the high muckety muck of the area, telling people how to obey the Democratic Party after, I guess, the shooting stops. No civil war is going to happen because the Democrats can't do it. That's it. They're weak. They're weak, wimpy people. And that's all that it will ever be about. That's why they do what they do. That's why, like, they have to try to twist the rules, try to come up with this way. Oh, look, Trump, you said this on Twitter. That means you were going to commit this crime. And so all they can do is fundamentally spend a bunch of money on trying to set up kind of elaborate evil traps that all have to do with the legal system. And the beauty of this is the more the Democrats do this, the more, this is the part I also like about the fact that there's now all these black liberals that are big upping this stupid bitch in Georgia. The black liberals are really making it very clear that they should never be helped again. They're really making this clear. Like, they're making it also very easy for a lot of black Americans who are conservative to simply kind of say, I'm leaving them behind. Like, so the way that I like putting it, and I put it a number of times, I'm not Noah. This ain't my town. I'm getting on the ark and letting them all drown. And that's how it is going to be as things get bad. That the Republicans are going to have kith and kin, friends and family who will keep them okay. Some Democrats will do that, but the thing is, they will have to also skew their lives to something a bit more, quote-unquote, conservative. It won't mean that they'll change. They'll actually even be more hardcore party loyalists for a long time to come. And really, you're going to find that the party loyalists are going to constantly talk about how, like, the Republicans are these people that, no matter what Trump did, it's some cult or this, that, and the other. Now, the beauty of this is where Republicans get to come from. Oh, you are this party that seems to be fascinated by the idea of child prostitution, that you seem to enjoy it and want to encourage it, and any effort to fight it, you all act like this is some kind of strange activity. Why would you want to do that? You guys are, that the Republicans are just making up that there's all this child abuse and child endangerment and trafficking and prostitution happening at the border, happening to people who are coming here at their behest, at the Democrats' behest, and at nonprofit corporations' behest. They want to claim that's not happening. We have proof positive that it's some weird nonprofit corporation like network of these people and funders who are and that all of this is being funded by illegal activities at the source. And you have traffickers who are doing all this. And so these traffickers are either tacitly being supported by these nonprofit corporations, with governments then supporting the whole operation. Like the German government there's a bunch of German politicians that probably made a small fortune off of trafficking humans into Europe and into Germany. And now Germany is done. Germany's over. By the time the winter comes around for Germany, Germany is going to barely be able to keep the lights on. And within the next 2 years, because of all the migrants are, in almost all cases, all these migrants coming in from the Islamic world and Africa are a net loss. They're a net loss of money. Hella money has to be put out for them. They're not going to do anything for the economies for at least a generation. That's going to be significant because there's a worldwide drop in economic activity. So it's not like they could start up curry shops and, I don't know, basket weaving businesses or whatever the fuck, or make shoes, whatever the fuck. So these people are going to be a net loss for the economy, and there will be a net loss for the economy, especially out of where they've been in the United States in blue enclaves. I'm really actually getting kind of happy that now people like Hassan are in these walled neighborhoods, these gated neighborhoods. They have to be in gated neighborhoods because where they live is now, they've made it so unsafe and so unlivable that he has to secure himself from the people. He has to be kept away from the people. Hassan doesn't live in a nice house in the hood like fucking, like Ice Cube's parents still do. No, he has to live in some gated community. He is he's such an amazing phony. Such a super powerful phony. Almost like if he had just been some rich Middle Easterner who just pretends that he's he's cool from he's a cool bro. If he had some outrageous accent, it would make it even funnier and more he would actually be an interesting character then. But the Democrats have screwed the pooch. Now it's this thing of that, oh yeah, look, Donald Trump did this, and it's going to be, well, this is the thing. This Georgia DA is going to get humiliated, most likely. It's going to most likely end up with there's also chicanery and all kinds of things that were done that are not up to snuff legally. But it's probably going to be a defeat and a humiliating one, because that's what keeps happening. That's what keeps happening to the Democrats. It's a defeat and a humiliating one. And this one is going to be one that I guarantee you, they're showing these these photos that it's the publicity shot of the DA. Look at this beautiful black DA. Now the black woman is going to bring down Donald Trump, because that's how this is going to play. People are going to play it I can't wait till Joanne Reed, her racist has-been ass, comes up and tries to pop some dumb shit. She'll probably have some black homosexual on, some guy, some black gay guy. And they're like, oh yeah, Donald Trump would have never seen himself taken down by a black woman. With then the implication being that he hates black women, which that's always, because they have to make such implications, because otherwise they would have to be in some way, shape, or form decent human beings, accurate, the news, but it's also because black people are failing. That's the other part of it. It's that this is a period of time where the popularity is waning. This happens every so many generations, and it will just keep continuing. But I'm just waiting for this case to fail. Georgia will fail. Democrats will look like assholes as usual, and incompetents and cheaters. And it's because the rules won't be, there's no arbiter to suddenly say, I'm sorry, this is a bunch of girls and gays. So the rules now are going to be changed for 24 hours so that the girls and the homosexuals can win this. Could you please lose for us? That's not going to happen. And then there's the greater thing of, you fuck with Trump, you fuck with all of us. The GOP has totally fucked this up. They're just burning their money. I love that apparently no one's giving the GOP money. They're giving it directly to Trump. They're giving it directly to the candidates. And the GOP is furious. They are pissed. You could tell by the way that they're going after Trump. The GOP is so angry right now. And the best part about it is, just like with the Democrats, really, this is an issue of that the party officials should just be mad at themselves. The party officials should just be mad at themselves. It's their fault that they're calling these really bad strategies, and that no one will give them money. They're giving it directly to the candidates. But the party officials have shown, like many other things in our society, they're an old institution that is falling apart and is no longer doing what it should or is supposed to do. And inevitably, the GOP party officials will be unseated, most likely by people like the Gates type of people, Boebert type of people, as the young take over the party, and it becomes much more harder and more right. And it will win in doing this. It'll win because there won't be any more compromise on fundamental concepts of policy. And really, what I'm thinking is that we're going to see an effort over the next 2 years in some way by the right and the GOP to actually try to demonize the Freedom Caucus, and to especially try to demonize the idea of defunding Israel. That's a big one. Not giving money to Israel, not giving money to the Pentagon, not giving money to the FBI. All this will be attacked as like this incredibly, like, see, how could they say they're Republicans? They won't give money to Israel. They won't give money to the Pentagon. So, of course, this is one of these moments where we'll all be laughing about this. That we'll be like, do you think this hurts our feelings? Like, I'm sorry, do you know who you're talking about here? You think that we mind you discussing us in this man? No, I don't think you guys get it yet. But yeah, I'm not really terribly upset, that the Democrats are these this kangaroo court, and no, to me, one of the best things about this too is more and more this is involving black women. More and more black women who are involved in all black. More and more black people are starting to pop out of the woodwork as a part of the plot. It's a part of the plot against Trump, and there's nothing better than this. To finally let people understand. Educating the education of black women. Black, liberal, educated women can't have a republic. They have to have a system that they are given inordinate power by white women over the men, over white men, they have to be given privilege, or else they can't make it. They can't really make it. These are not Condoleezza Rice people. These are not people who made it in the private industry. Maybe they were a lawyer for a company at some point, but now they're involved in a plot against the Republic. And so now it's the passport bros and people like that, they get to say, when black women get to the top levels of power in our country, one of the first things they do is turn against one of the most popular politicians who actually was one of the best politicians we've had in a long time. Then, and Obama's gay. And now everybody, I love that came out the way that it did. So now again, we get to say, see, he was a brother on the down low. All of you who you have some weird fixation on him, it's because he's a gay man. He's might as well be RuPaul, might as well be Boy George, he might as well be George Michael, he might as well be some whack R&B singer. What this is about is about maybe you can make him straight. Maybe you can make him into a real man. Like Michelle did. Whoa. And so yeah, and so and that's another one. Is that, yeah? See, Obama wasn't a real man by the definition that most black women go by. Obama wasn't a real man. You know, he wasn't good at his job. He wasn't a real man, and by the end of it, he was one of the most divisive people. So the black, the hapu black guy, Gao, Hawaii Democrat, and he ruined everything. He literally ruined everything. And him and a bunch of skirts ruined everything. And, you know, Hillary Clinton selling secrets, get caught in it. Does she drop out of the race? No. Decides to ruin everything. This is what the Democrats are. We can't have a republic with the Democrats. We can't have like a real government. We can't have a meritocracy. We can't have good things with the Democrats. We can't have good things. They want to ruin the idea of having even good things. When they have, you know, when they have their way, it's letting off rioters, it's letting off rapists, it's saying, what are you talking about? You're witnessing crime. We see nothing. We see nothing. I hear nothing. I see nothing. That's what their party is now. No, that's what their party is now. And me, I'm just enjoying it. I'm really enjoying that. Like, they think, like, you know, people who are on the internet, like, we don't know the score. Like, Americans don't know the score. Americans, like, oh, well, but you see, there isn't exactly one of the Democrats saying exactly these words and doing exactly what you're saying, you see. And, you know, I love it. It's like, okay, yeah, that's it, yeah. And so I'm going to trust you. That's what I need to do then, is just trust you more. And then, you see, if I trust you more, then I'll find out what good people you really are. Okay, if I just vote for you again, this time you'll get it right. It'll turn out you're really trustworthy, and I should have bought the wolf tickets you sold me and held on to them instead of just taking the wolf tickets and throwing them out, realizing they were wolf tickets. And okay, I see, yeah, yeah, that sounds sensible and totally makes sense. Yeah, that's it. So that's going to be the beauty of this. It's most of these shenanigans are going to end up really because they kept backfiring before. I'm thinking not only these shenanigans, this bunch, these are going to backfire again, but I'm figuring they're going to backfire in a much bigger way than before. And I figure because really, everybody's got to quintuple down on it. That's going to be the beauty of this, is seeing these panels of idiots sitting around saying, oh yeah, oh, he's so guilty. A black woman says so, and it's going to be fucking hilarious to see it fall apart. And them trying to but being that the evidence is so strong, why are we going to lose this case against him? How is he such an evil genius that we can't seem to find a charge that will stick on him? I don't understand. It's do the American people not understand what kind of man this is? And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And then really, for most of the fellows out there, we know what we're looking for. And really, everyone should start getting busy on the screen caps. There's going to be too much to screen capture. Remember, America First and the Fuentes Bunch, they don't exist. They're not going to do what the alt-right did last time to be funny. They're not going to make fun of people. They're not going to do screen captures. It's not going to be music playing to funny stuff. None of that's going to happen. The AF people they're not going to do anything. They like too much fighting amongst one another and accusing each other of stuff that doesn't matter. So it's really going to be up to everybody else up to everybody else to come up with funny stuff and come up with the screen caps and to come up with the memes and all that, because the AF people can't do it. They're just not. They're just too weirdo sauce now. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. Honestly, I'm really kind of excited now that it's like, oh, the drama's building up. And it's really because they're gassing themselves up. I'm seeing the newspapers gassing themselves up over all this. It's going to be freaking awesome.